Hello, and welcome to another Monday evening live stream. This is going to be a continuation of the Age of Worms game. So, before we really get settled in and see how everything is doing, we're going to kind of check our sound. We had, let alone our epic conflict with the Gremlins has continued, and there was threats that both Brent and Jeff would be taken out again by some furtherance of the storm bringing or whatever it may be that they happen to be doing. Lots of lightning, lots of thunder, very, very frightening. So, Brent, how do we sound?
We can hear you, Mike.
Well, that's
Okay.
all that matters. We'll just have Mike narrate the entire adventure tonight.
Well, I mean, I think it usually seems like I starts to sound like a robot first, and then you guys just fall.
Everyone's working.
So,
Brent and I will just email you what we're doing, and then you can read it out loud on stream, and we'll just stand here and stare at the cameras.
I would only do that if these messages came out in the form of a fortune cookie that I had to laboriously open every time. That would be terrible.
I don't think that would last that long.
No, the play by post stream.
Yeah, I don't think that would last that long. But yeah, so it seems like we're doing okay.
Nice.
So so again, welcome to Monday night live stream. This is going to be a lot of fun. I think we have a few things in store for these guys this evening. So those of you that are watching this, in the future when it's just a recording, we appreciate it if you guys give us a like, a comment, let us know how the session went, all that type of jazz. And those of you that are in chat and everything like that right now, remember Brent and Jeff are going to be the ones that are managing chat and everything like that. So if you want to see them do crazy hijinks, you should just mention it and see exactly how that goes. So I think there's probably like some part of me that almost wants to see because like you guys saw that faster purple worm kill is still a thing, right? Like that show
No,
is
I
still
didn't.
going.
Yeah,
Well,
I did see that.
Yeah, well, they were at least at Comic-Con this last
yeah.
weekend, and
You mean Gen Con?
Comic-Con was the week before, Mike.
Or sorry, 2 weekends ago, Comic-Con. They might have been at Gen Con too. They probably were at Gen Con. I didn't actually check.
Gen Con was over, I believe, this weekend.
Yeah, it was. I remember because I remember seeing the guy who was doing that Sentience game that you were interested in. He did a lot of play tests at Gen Con and got super positive responses, I guess. But yes, so they were there, and I believe they have a pretty good setup for how they get audience engagement to talk about things that happen in the game and everything like that. It's pretty fun. I like it, and you can find it on the D&D Adventures channel somewhere in the labyrinth of Amazon's.
Does it still?
I thought they shut it down. I thought Hasbro shut it down.
Is it still out there for now?
Oh, it's still out there for now. I guess you can also watch it on Plex if you really care. I don't have Plex, so I just
no one has Plex.
Go to the live stream thing.
No one has Plex. That's part of the reason that it was such a pain in the ass to find.
Yeah, well, I mean, somebody has Plex, I'm sure.
No,
it's free, so there's not a lot of barriers to entry other than desire.
No one has Plex.
So I guess since we're going to go ahead and get started and everything like that, are you guys ready to jump into the thing?
Yeah,
we are ready to kill some more skeletons and carry more bones out of this place.
I'm kind of curious if you're just going to grab every set of bones that you find.
What else are we going to do?
Yeah, we kind of have to.
If somebody can reanimate them, I don't know what our choices are.
Unless there's name tags on them that say I'm whoever we're trying to find. Like, I think we're gonna have a hard time otherwise.
Well, it'll be interesting. I do feel like whatever. We'll figure it out. So just to kind of rehash for those people that are joining us,
and it's your fault. Don't forget.
My fault.
Yes.
Well, I mean, I dropped clues, but I do believe that at least one person blew up a skeleton.
What I'm saying is you're the GM, so you're to blame, obviously.
Oh, that's how it works.
It is.
Okay. So you guys taking a tip from the albino half orc, you went to the old observatory just north of town. The old building has stood tall against the hills for many a year. Stories say, of course, that cultists had once used the observatory to study the stars, but according to Cullen, a new resident has taken root there. Oops, a new resident is in town. Breaking down the front door because we're a very direct group.
With our wand of burglary.
You guys just shattered your way into the front door and were beset by 3 skeletons with heavy crossbows. After defeating them, not sure if they are part of the land family, you started collecting bones, and because you had defeated them in such spectacular fashion, you basically now have a giant bag of bones, I assume. Do you want to describe to me how you're collecting all of these bones at this point? Like, what is your like?
You
you
mean
have
one
them
at a
like,
time? I mean, two at a
like you have them
time,
like a
whatever you can
sack, or
pick
what are you
up.
doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you just basically have a giant sack you're putting these bones into, in hopes that you get all of them. So, that being said,
I don't think we have to get all of them. We have to get most of them.
What is your? I guess what do you think is going to happen?
I mean, interred next to your family doesn't necessarily mean their entire body.
Okay.
So I mean,
basically,
he can disagree with us later, but I mean, right now we're going to get as much of these as we can.
that's fair. Okay. So basically, you're going to put the land family in a mass grave. It sounds like that's going to be.
Well, no, we're going
With
to
a
put
nice plaque saying "In Memoriam" for those
no
wrongfully woken from their restful slumber and now interred in peace. You know,
I
something like that.
I was thinking we were more going to just put like collections separated in each little compartment, not necessarily all in one.
I have a feeling this is going to be a different adventure down the line, but okay, sure. So basically in this room, I had incorrectly said that there was actually a door on the west exit. So basically, as you walk in, you're walking in towards the west. There's actually only one door to your right that heads north. So
you're fading in and out a little bit for me, Mike. Like I
Oh,
can hear you
I might just
fine,
need to.
and other times it gets really soft.
I might just be moving too far away from my microphone. That's
Okay.
probably it. I'll stay really close. Okay.
Be better.
So, what are you guys going to do?
Which way is the next room you said?
So the only door that you see in this room is to the north, so to your right from when you
You want to check out that west wall for a hidden door, Brent?
Sure, go ahead.
That seems very metagamey, but sure. I'm gonna search and see if I can find a hidden door on the west wall somewhere.
No need to roll. There's no door.
Okay.
There's just a bad description, and I didn't catch it fast enough.
You mean there doesn't seem to be a door?
That's true. There doesn't appear to be a door that mere mortals such as yourselves can find.
Okay, then I think we'll go listen at the other door, see if our commotion caused a commotion on the other side of the door.
Okay. But quick aside, however, if you were the Juggernaut, you could obviously make your doors. But moving on. Yeah, so listening to the door, you kind of put your ear to the wood, and you don't hear anything on the other side. It just sounds silent.
I try to open the door.
Okay. So,
and if the door opens, I step back so that my companion can step through.
Okay.
Yeah, I go in first.
So, opening the door, you kind of like twist the handle and peeking through. You find that it opens up into a hallway. Directly across from you, there seem to be a series of 4 doors that line the hallway, kind of evenly spaced. Each of the doors has faded glyphs and runes that are kind of carved into the wood, about eye level. And then, of course, to the left you see a door, and further left you see a hallway that heads south. So imagine this like a Tetris piece, like Up here, doors are to the north. There's a hallway that goes south. At the very end of the hallway, farthest from you, there's another door.
Hang on. Where are the 4 doors?
Directly across from you.
Directly across from us. Okay. But then there's more doors on top of the 4 doors.
So there's 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, the description
4.
is not helping me.
And then there's one door at the very end of the hallway, all the way to your left, looking down.
Okay.
I was just
so
thinking
there's a total of 5 doors that you can see.
I was just thinking it was interesting we found Mordor.
I think it's interesting that he calls the room that we're coming into a hallway, but the one that we just left, which obviously was just a hallway that took a bend, wasn't a hallway; it was a room.
So the 4 doorways are closest. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So if you immediately exiting, you see 1, 2, 3, and then 4, and then to your left on the wall that's perpendicular to the hall to the end here, then there's another door at the very end, and just to the left of that, there's another hallway.
Okay, so we'll walk to the door furthest away from the door in the hallway. Wherever they are.
Okay.
But I'm gonna watch to make sure nothing comes like out of the hallway or that door, and we'll check out the furthest away door from that, and then just move closer to that.
So
Does that make sense?
You're going to go all the way down to the hallway and work your way back towards where you're at, or you're working from, or you're from the other direction going towards.
Yeah, no. Okay, so there's 4 doors in front of us, and to the left there is a door and a hallway. We're going to go as far this way as we can, or whichever. We don't want to be near the door and the hallway that are next to each other. Okay. Does that make sense? And we'll move towards that. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, follow his lead. Apparently, I messed something up here in the description. I'm just going to give you a quick look here.
Well, it's probably my misunderstanding of what you're describing. It's not you.
It's me. Since we already established that it's the GM's fault. Oh no. So walking into
there's a door to
the left. There's a lot of doors in this hallway, and then another hallway.
There's a total of 6 doors. I don't see another hallway though.
Towards this. If you go just to the left, you see how there's that. You guys are coming from the door on the bottom right, and that.
Oh, we're coming from there. Okay, yeah.
And then there's 4 doors in a straight line, and then to the left of us is the door at the end of the hall.
We're going to the door furthest to the right, Mike. So kind of, it's mostly in front of us, but it's the furthest away from the hallway and the other door that's obviously not one of the 4 that had the signs.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense? Okay.
Sure. So.
No, this was close. I thought it was a little different, but yeah, this is close to how I pictured it.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. No, there's a lot happening in this little hallway. So going to the door that's basically just to your right. That's kind of the closest door to the, just to your right, the end of the hallway to your right. Going inside, do you guys go inside? Do you guys open the door? What do you do?
I want to try to read the sign.
Okay. Well, the sign doesn't look as though there's any sort of letters or anything like that. It looks as though more from your perspective, actually it looks more like astrological symbols.
Do they look familiar? Can I understand them from my training in the arcane arts?
If you want to go ahead and let's go with religion. All right, I guess if you want to give me a reason for any of the knowledge skills that you have, we can probably justify it that way. But there's not like a knowledge stars, unless we wanted to use knowledge.
No, if you say religion, we can do religion. If they're religious in nature, then that would make the most sense. I got a 22.
Wow. So basically, as you're looking at each of them, and you kind of like go and you get a closer look at them, it basically looks like that they're celestial bodies. These bodies are not necessarily the way I would look at it is that each of these rooms has been given like this is the North Star room, or this is the.
Sounds like we're having sound issue again.
Oh, definitely not how we're supposed to sound. Oh God. Are you guys okay with the weather up there?
As far as I know, I mean, it was raining earlier, but I think it stopped for me.
I would say this is not indicative of the storm due to the fact that it happened before we ever had the bad weather.
I don't know what. I honestly don't know what it is. Like, truthfully, is it everybody that's having the sound? Just out of curiosity. Okay.
Trixie Ray says it sounds okay now.
All right. Well, Trixie Ray, thank you for that. Thank you for letting us know. We're not really sure what causes the problem.
Sorry, I was checking it. They said it sounds like it's okay now. So whatever we were doing before, maybe
we stop that and we continue with the new.
Okay. So back to the description. So the rooms, basically, when you're looking at it, each of the rooms look like they're named after celestial bodies, but not like I mean, it's just it'd be like us naming them like the the whatever like Pisces room or something like that. Each of them is a celestial body, but it's not of any main religions. It does seem as though these are lesser known celestial bodies.
Okay. So I recognize them as celestial glyphs. I don't really know what they are, so it doesn't really give me any idea what's in the room. Right?
No.
That's the gist.
Correct.
All right. Do you want to open the door, Ron?
Yep, I will open the door. I will kick open the door and search for monsters.
You're gonna kick open the door? Okay.
It's Hackmaster. Yeah, I open the door. Or Munchkin, it's Munchkin. Yes, I will open the door, shield out, axe ready just in case.
Okay. Opening the door, you find that the room actually looks like it kind of leads to a tiny bedroom, maybe, or like a bedroom / study. Knowing before that when this was an occupied tower by the monks, you probably could guess that these were more where they were living or something like that, based on this specific room. For example, you see that there's a frayed hammock sagging in the corner. There's some small bookshelves that are kind of dusty and cobweb. In the back, you see a grimy window and everything like that, and the books smell kind of mildewy.
So nothing appears to be alive in the room.
No, not from what I can see.
All right, let's search the room and then move to the next.
Okay. So basically, you're going to go through each of these rooms and kind of search it.
Yeah, we'll do the little rooms first. Yeah.
Okay. So why don't you go and roll me a my brain just froze. That word investigation. If you could roll me an investigation check.
I got a 14.
I got a 12.
Okay. So as you're searching through the rooms, you basically find that that it doesn't seem as though there's any personal belongings or anything like that. You see, it does look as though they've taken any of those types of things. Mostly what you find are, like, one of them has a telescope that's been pretty much disassembled. The pieces look like they were broken, and maybe somebody had aspirations of putting it back together. You see kind of a neglected altar where you can tell that somebody probably has burned incense long ago, but nothing really of value that you found.
Okay.
Okay, move the next one.
Okay. So this is, and just so you know, that's basically as you go through each of the rooms, that was to cover your search for those 4 rooms at the farthest wall there.
Okay, so there's nothing in any of them, so we just kind of move through.
Yep. So now as you get to the end, obviously you do have the door that's kind of like, kitty corner to that last room, and then there's that hallway that heads south. There is a door at the end of that hallway.
Yep. We're gonna go try that door, I think.
Okay.
The last door, if you will.
The door just south of you, or the door at the very end of the hallway?
At the end of the hallway. There's just we don't see the door. I think we're gonna try the door at the end of the hallway first, because that just looks like a tunnel. Or that just looks like a
more like just.
It looks like another hallway.
We'll look down the hallway before we open the door to make sure nothing's standing there. But
no, nothing's standing there. But you do see another door
at the end of that hallway.
I think we'll do the door at the end of the hallway first.
Okay. So as you approach the door, you start to smell something. It smells like maybe old, slightly rotten flesh, mixed in with heavy perfumes of a floral variety. What are you guys going to do? How do you guys open this door?
Carefully.
With me in the front?
Okay. All right. So basically, so kind of like, do you just bust in? Do you open it slowly?
I just open it. I'm not trying to open it slowly, so no.
Okay. So basically, as you push the door open, a revolting stench of rotting flesh just rolls over you. It's somewhat lessened by the fact that there's a floral perfume mixed in with it, but maybe it's not, because sometimes when you mix that rotting smell with the flowery, it kind of gives you an even worse smell out of it. But what it does is it opens into a fairly large room. And in the center of this room, there are 10 chairs surrounding a long oblong dining table that is situated just directly away from the door. You see kind of off to your right a wide staircase that looks like it leads to an upper floor. You see to your left two doors that line the south wall. And across behind the table on the far side of the room, you see that there is a sagging antique wooden shelf that dominates that entire wall. However, the shelf itself looks like it might collapse at any moment. On the table, you see that there are three tall candles, and they illuminate quite the sight. With the exception of the place at the very end of the table opposite of you. Each of the chairs surrounding the table holds an awkwardly seated humanoid figure. The 9 bodies are in various stages of decomposition. Some sit with splendid posture, paused as if midway through a sumptuous feast. Others slump treacherously close to the floor. Heaping plates of fresh food sit before each of the diners, but the empty place setting features a clean plate and a set of utensils. Throughout the table, you see bottles of red wine, and in front of each of the corpses, you see a half-finished glass. Around them, you do catch some flies buzzing as they seem to be also enjoying the meals.
How many of them are there?
So there are 9 of the corpses in various states, and then there's one chair that's empty at the very end.
Is that it? That we just see the dining table in the room?
And the
shelf.
And the shelf across. So behind that clear space is a shelf. To your right is a stairway that goes up, and to your south there are 2 little doors. And in the far corner, just to the right, looking at the shelf, you see a small door that looks like it's under the stairs.
I looked at Zevrox to see what he thinks we should do.
I don't know. This can't be Alistair's family, right? They were all dead for decades. They would have been mostly bones. There wouldn't have been any flesh to stink.
Well, it could be the food.
Could be. But they are definitely, they look like bodies that somebody dug up.
And has been eating with.
You want to see if any of them are animate?
Well, that would be my worry, is if we move to another door, that they come out of the door. So, and then what's in the? Do we see anything in the shelving? I double checked the shelving to see if there's anything in it.
Are you going into the room at all, or are you staying?
No, I'm doing it from where I am.
Nothing of import. You see some cracked wooden dishes that have kind of been left there, but you also see what probably look to be like pottery vessels. You know, some stuff where it looks like there's some flowers that may not be as fresh as they also in there. So, but nothing of real import that you can make out from this distance.
I think the stairs should be the last thing to go up, but that leaves 3 doors. The one under the stairs and the 2 to the left.
Well, we should go down the other hallway and go to the other door and check that place first, and then we can come back to this one. I think. Then we can search then we can be sure that we searched everything on this level.
All right, let's shut this door and go back to the other one.
Okay.
We'll close it behind us.
So, as you kind of like
to his tactics.
As you kind of close the door, looking at the corpses at the table. Brent, are you the one closing it, or is Jeff?
Yeah. If they get up, I mean,
no,
we'll reopen the door.
However, as you close it, you do think you saw one kind of kind of breathe like it tried to breathe, but nothing more.
Okay, we move to the other door.
Okay. So heading back down the hallway, going south, you see that there is another door that is. It looks like the wood on this door is warped, and it will require a little bit of strength to open. Are you going to kind of try to force it?
Yeah.
Okay. Make for me a what are those things? A strength check.
Might check.
A might check?
Yeah, might check. I mean, I'm sorry.
A physical check, you mean?
Would it be an athletics check or a physical check?
It would be a physical check, might, because it's just literally power against the door.
So I only get +3.
Correct.
18.
Okay. Yeah. So sticking your shoulder against the door, you've managed to pop the warped wood out of the frame, and it kind of pushes into the door. The door pushes into the other room a little bit. Inside the other room, you pretty much find that it looks like it's probably an old office, but it has not been used in years.
Okay. We rummage through the office, see if there's anything in the office.
Most of the things look like they're books, ledgers, and other things that look like they've kind of molded and rotted over time. You do find a couple of copper pieces, though.
As in 2, or as in 2 copper pieces? I'll add it to the list.
I thought I would give you an homage to the old stingy Mike. So.
And there doesn't appear to be any other exits out of here. So I guess we go back to the dining room, I guess we'll call it.
Okay.
Did you tell me that you thought you saw one of them move?
Nope.
At all? Okay, I don't know that then.
I wasn't sure, so no, I didn't say anything. I thought it was just my imagination.
So how do you think we check if they are animated? Just like push them face down on the table and see if they sit up from that, or just push them out of the chairs?
Just cut the heads off of them.
Well, that seems like a lot of work. I'm not saying it wouldn't be effective.
I mean, they're not moving, so it shouldn't be that much work.
Which door do you want to go to?
So So just to understand, you just go around and you hack the heads off of each one of them?
Well, I mean, technically, I guess we might have to come back and collect all these.
Yeah, we might have to. I still would think that, the bodies would have been more decomposed than what I wouldn't think that any of Alistair's relatives would be able to sit up without, like wiring the skeletons together.
I mean, we could just move.
We may
past
have to come back here. Yeah, we'll just keep an eye on them. Which door do you want to go to?
Go ahead and tell me which one to open.
Let's go to the one immediately to the left as we walk in.
Okay.
Like kind of before the table.
Let's
go to that one. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So as you walk over to that door, it opens up into what looks to be a kitchen, seeming as though this was the dining hall for the area. This is probably where all the meals were made. You see an enormous wheel of cheese, some loaves of bread, and various states of decay. Some of them are fresh, some of them are not fresh.
So both those two doors on the left go into the kitchen.
Correct. However, in the kitchen there is one door at the far western wall as well.
Do you want to go check that one out first? It's probably to a pantry.
Yeah, let's check it out.
Okay, we'll go over there and check it out.
Yep, pretty much as you said, it's a pantry. A handful of spices, dry foods, things like that. As you're looking at the different things in here, you see that there's not really a lot of creativity to the types of meals that can be made here. It looks like it's going to be pretty standard fare over and over again. But most of the shelves are empty, so it looks like it's really only food enough for one.
It's okay. I'm not planning on eating. So yeah, I guess let's go back out to the dining area.
Okay.
Was there anything else in the kitchen if we search? Pots, pans, stuff.
There's some shoddy cutlery if you are interested.
No, we're not here to start a secondhand store.
It's a different game.
Yet. So yeah, we will head out.
Okay.
To the other room.
So the other, so basically going to the across the table to the other side to the door into the stairs.
The door into the stairs first, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So as
he opens the door, I'm facing the table just to take a look at the bodies, even though the stench is overwhelming.
Okay. Yeah. So basically, Brent, as you open it up, you find pretty much a storage closet. Looks like there's 4 extra chairs for the dining room table, and 8 copper candle stands. And you can decide what to do with that as you will. However, as you look, Jeff, you see that, among the diners that you can actually tell, you first of all see a male, kind of a male elf corpse. You see the tattered remains of probably what looks like a young woman. It's, that one's a little bit worse for wear, let's say. And you see a few other zombies, looking things, fleshy.
A few other what?
Zombie looking things.
Good job.
Oops.
But
as you're looking at them, they pretty much look like they're, like I said, in various states of decay, but some of them are actually dressed up rather nicely. So it's based on what you're seeing, though, you see that they don't look like they're. How about this? None of them look like Alistair Land. They don't have the same types of traits or anything like that you can tell.
Okay.
You're being very generous on the rotted corpses.
Oh, I slipped up. Zombies. Are they zombies?
Well, you said the zombie's face. So, meta-wise. Another Mordor joke. That's great. Thank you. Thank you for validating us.
Yeah, let's go up
a lot
the
of doors
stairs.
here.
Let's go up the stairs.
Okay. So basically, leaving the zombie-like things in the city around the table, you had up the stairs.
Good cover.
They look like zombies based on your adventuring life. Moving up. So as you go up the stairs, the stairs lead you to what looks to be a massive bed chamber. It fills the entire floor, it seems, of the observatory tower. Um, you can see that there's light filtering in from the tall windows, and you can kind of see, that this, while it's a nice area, it's still, motes of dust play in the air kind of thing. You see down in the southern corner a fine bed with plump red linen sheets that's on a dais along the south east cradle of the tower's arc. A nightstand next to the bed holds a wax choked candlestick and a black book bound with brown and red leather. At the midpoint of the eastern wall, you see a strange form standing rigid atop a short wooden stool, as tall as a halfling and clothed in a fine black suit and top hat. Clean cloth bandages wrap every inch of this century-looking thing's skin. A pair of ash-tinted spectacles rest upon a long, skinny nose. Within its diminutive dandy holds a silver platter as if presenting a meal, and upon the tray rests the freshly preserved, severed head of a middle-aged human woman. A platinum piece sits on her outstretched purple tongue. Opposite of that, a messy desk rests against the wall, piled high with loose papers. An apparatus holding 4 long tubes filled with colored liquid peeks out from the clutter. Doors on the north and west wall look like they probably lead to small type closets.
Oh man, that messy desk stands out. Jeez, what the hell is going on here? What is that guy thinking?
You do see that kind of like just near the desk there are stairs that go up, but between the stairs going up to this floor and the stairs that look like they ascend higher into the tower, there is a massive white stone statue of a thin human man with outstretched angelic wings. A beatific look upon his idealized face looms large, and it holds a sword in one hand and cradles a harp in the other. The presentation kind of looks like what you would see in some sort of mausoleum. Like,
does it look like one of the statues from the cairn?
Does it look like one of the? No, it does not. This looks like somebody who is very much a like, when you go into a graveyard, you see those really big, funeral memorials where somebody is like, oh, this is a great person in life, so therefore they get all the extra work, as opposed to just those single stands in the grass kind of thing. However, at the base of this, you see that it says the word Filge. Filge.
So Filge is the guy we're looking for, according to the half-orc, right?
That would be a Mike question.
Oh, yeah. I mean, according to what you guys had discussed with Filge in the alleyway, that's who he had suggested you find here. What he suggested.
I'm gonna go look at the book on the nightstand.
Okay. Looking at the book, it does look as though it has a clasp on it. You can probably guess that it's locked in some way, but
melt your face off by wizardry locks, potentially.
Possibly, or you could just turn the dial until it unlocks. One of the two.
It's like a Jack in the Box.
So it has a dial,
and then it pops open.
It's a simple clasp.
Okay. Yeah, do you have it? Yeah, it's just, if it's just a clasp, I'll open the clasp.
Within, you see what looks to be some inked out pages. They look to be spells, though.
That was your chance. That was your disintegration trap chance.
Being faithful to the adventure.
So it's probably the necros.
Well, that looks handy for study later, so I put that in my backpack. I'm just going to refer to it as one book of spells.
For the record, in regular D&D, spellbooks go for a mint.
Yeah, but still not as much as a goblin sword and dragonbane.
Enough to where people were like, I read a thing that they were like, I start as a mage and then sell my spellbook and retire.
What? Is that 3.5 or?
I think it was 3.5 or 4. It might have been 4. But anyways, so yeah.
I've listed the book of spells among my possessions at this point.
And nothing bad happened yet, right?
Correct. So really, the objects of interest in this room are a very nice plush rug.
It's the stairs. I don't think we should touch the head.
What?
You don't want the platinum piece?
Nothing screams trap like a platinum piece in a head.
Okay, but follow the thread. The guy's wrapped in bandages. Bandages are made of cloth. Cloth burns. We have torches. We just light the bandages on fire.
Also,
if it's just a statue of a guy, then it just stays there.
Also, a severed head would be good evidence for us breaking in here if the authorities come. We can say that we know that he was doing wrong shit, and that's why we came.
No, that's true. Yeah, we don't want to get rid of the head. I don't care about the platinum piece, but I'm going to check out the desk.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, I think it'd be more interesting if you checked out the platinum piece. But, so looking at the desk, you pretty much see that there's there's a lot of papers. Most of the papers seem like they're concerned with surgical procedures meant to enhance the potency of undead. Whereas some of the other ones look like they're just meandering thoughts. Kind of when those situations where somebody has kind of like a dream journal and they're like, oh, this would be a really good idea. Well, this is every idea that this person seems to have ever had. And most of them, as you're trying to decipher them, aren't great. But they're recorded for posterity.
Can you give me an estimation of the volume of paper on this desk?
I would say that the type of papers that are related to surgical stuff, it's probably about 2 to 3 books worth. Types of papers that are like just random journaling and other types of things, meandering stuff that would take you a lot more, is probably about 10 to 12 books worth.
I'll try to grab the stuff that the first stuff, because I think that Alistan would want to see it.
Okay. So as you start to move things around, you get a chance to look at the let's see, a chance to see basically a beaker holder with 6-inch long tubes filled with different colored liquids. Two of them look like two of the 6 slots are empty. The glass tubes at the top are sealed with a rubber sheath. And it looks like the other ones, you see one that's a milky blue, a deep red, a sallow yellow, a white with black streak, like liquid in each of the other spots.
Blue, red, yellow, and white?
White with black streaks. You have that chart still, Brent? I wonder if those are on there.
I'm pretty sure the black streak ones is.
Does the red one look like the healing? Because I thought the healing potions we've been getting were red. Does it look like those?
It looks like the red potion is actually deeper red than the healing potions that you'd seen in the past.
Okay.
Do the second level ones look deeper red than the first level ones?
They look more cherry flavored.
That means absolutely nothing.
Yeah, that doesn't mean anything.
Saying it looks. So if you imagine one is just like your typical red, and that's like your healing potion.
Is there a discernible difference between the red of a first level spell healing potion and the red of a second level healing potion? Okay, so we can't tell. We can't tell if this is a higher level healing potion based on the color, is what Mike's telling us.
Correct.
And did you say only 2 had stoppers, or all of them had stoppers?
All of them have stoppers. It's just that they're 2 stoppered, empty looking vials at the end.
I will grab all of the vials. I will wrap them in cloth and put them in my backpack.
Okay. And as you kind of like wrap them in cloth, you see a label on the beaker holder that says necroturgens.
Necroturgens.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And as you,
it's dead guy laundry detergent.
Okay, I make a note of that.
So basically,
when I talk with Aliston,
you put some random pages of stuff in your book. You put the beakers within your bag and everything like that. One of the things you did notice is you see you actually see what looks to be a scroll that's different than all the other loose pages. It looks like there was a wax seal that's broken, and it's kind of slightly expanded. Looks more like a message than anything else that you've seen on the table.
I will take a look and read that when I get done packing that stuff away.
Okay. In this, it looks like it's a note. Based on what you can see, this is the parchment. Once you open it, it looks like there's various stains of blood, spatter, and everything like that. Like somebody has been too close to something bloody and kind of dabbled it here and there. As well as there's kind of like a bloody fingerprint that obviously tried to wipe away the blood, but accidentally got it more bloody in a streak across the top. And it says, Filge, I need you in Diamond Lake, my boy. The cult situation has grown worse. Deep within Dowerstone Mine, they're studying things brought in from the southern hills, green worms and unkillable zombies. I nicked one of the worms for you to study. I'll put you up in the old observatory. Show this letter to the big white half-orc at the Feral Dog. He'll help you get settled. I trust you'll find these coins sufficient to cover your travel to the Free City.
And who's it signed by?
It just has an S.
An S?
Pretty sure the guy's name.
That's Smank.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Yes.
I'm going to pack that letter away, and I'm going to pick one of the ravings that sounds like, somebody's a danger to society, and pack that in.
Okay.
Like I want to poison everybody at the bars and resurrect them and turn them into an undead army, that kind of stuff.
Well, I mean, it's hard to tell what has any value and what's not based on what you have. It just kind of feels like you're just picking at random what's in there.
Yeah. I'm just picking a couple of pages of samplings of that to show to the authorities. I'm not messing with it, but yeah, I'm not taking 10 or 12 books worth of lunatic ravings. Anything else in the desk, in the drawers, anything? I mean, not all desks have drawers, but this seems like a big desk, so I'm assuming there's some drawers.
Nah, basically pulling through the rest of the thing to kind of go through. You don't see anything else.
Okay. So we have more doors. We have the guy standing on the thing with the platter with the head and the platinum piece.
How many more doors? Sorry, I missed the.
There's at least 2 more doors in this room that are probably closets.
But my brain just can't help but hear like, how many more doors? More doors?
Yeah.
You open a door business. I feel like that's the case, but yeah. So basically, you have there's 2 doors on. There's the statue that says Filge at the base. Against the western wall, there's the person. There's the desk that's been ransacked. There's the bed, the nightstand, which have been gone through as well.
You want to try to move the rug, see if there's anything underneath it? Not carrying a huge rug out of here. I don't care how plush it is.
Yeah, we can roll. I mean, we can roll it back and see if there's anything under it.
Okay. Well, it feels very soft under your skin, but as you roll it back, it just the cold stone floor underneath.
Okay. Right. I think we should just go upstairs.
So, you said there was a statue of Filge?
Well, there's a statue that says Filge.
Statue that says
it looks like an angel with a sword and a harp and wings.
That's amazing.
Quite self-aggrandizing.
Do you want to Indiana Jones that and grab the severed head and put the statue on the platter and see how that goes? See if the big rock comes.
I mean, it's not a little statue; it's like a floor statue, isn't it?
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it basically it would be like a mausoleum piece.
Sure. Yeah. Let's.
And I don't think we should touch the head.
So, are the doors in the room just closets when we open them?
They are just closets, and within the closets, you pretty much see sleeveless long coats, shirts, breeches.
You throw all this clothes out the window just to be inconvenient.
Just to be extra petty.
so he has to go outside naked. No, just head up the stairs.
I guess we just go up the stairs. Yeah.
Okay. So as you head up the stairs, you basically come to what looks to be a very large door. Within the like you can hear it faintly, so this must be a pretty thick door. As you can hear kind of a dreadful melody, like someone's kind of singing in the shower out of tune. You can't make out the words or anything like that, but you can hear just kind of like this humming intermixed with
a harp.
No harp, just singing and humming.
The gentle beating of wings.
No.
Oh, okay.
I was hoping he played the harp since he had one in the damn statue.
You want to open the door?
I'm disappointed. Yeah. I open the door, shield, axe.
Okay, so basically the door.
I open the door, throw the last Molotov cocktail in it, and then shut it again.
Okay. Is that really what you do?
No.
Opening the door, it kind of leads you to a landing, and then there are additional stairs that go up to what appears to be the final floor. Are you guys sneaking up there? Or are you guys?
No. We're not banging on the walls, but we're not sneaking. I don't think, unless
you tell me to. I'm not sneaking.
Yeah, we're just walking up the steps.
Okay. So basically, you as you kind of go up the rest of the stairs, you see that this opens into a fairly large single chamber. Light filters through the wide slit in the roof, and it bathes the center of the room in illumination. You see that there are 4 large mirrors set along the outside wall, reflecting bright beams into the direct center of the room. It kind of looks like in the middle there is an operating theater that you can see that there are 2 sets of stairs that go down into it. And you see within that the light shines on what looks to be a blue-skinned humanoid figure who is also splayed out on the table. Its chest is completely open, pin-backed, and it's stuck with large metal needles. 2 long shelves cluttered with piles of papers, organs in various states of decay, and instruments comprise the east and west extent of the operating theater, and it's only a few inches lower than the chamber's outer floor. On the corners, you see that there are 4 metal and glass tanks, each easily large enough to hold a human, and they basically flank the stairs leading to the operating theater. Each tank is full of a yellow liquid streaked with rust, and you can see indistinct, vaguely humanoid silhouettes bobbing slightly in the soupy fluid. But now that you're up here, you basically can hear this terrible noise as you see what looks to be a very happy person working on that blue humanoid figure, just kind of hacking away, kind of in their own world, snapping their fingers, doing a spin. They are working away on this thing.
The person.
The person is working away.
Okay.
On this thing.
Not they, several persons.
Mm-hmm. And nearby, you see this shorter skeleton that seems like it's just holding a book standing behind him.
Well, you're part of the law. Can you arrest Filge?
I'm technically part of the garrison. We came to remember that we had a sheriff after that. Let's see. Part of me just wants to be like, I don't know, just hit him with your ice spell. That'll subdue him.
It'll surprise him.
Well, make him slower. Brom didn't plan for this.
Yeah, I just call out Filge.
Okay, so you just basically say Filge. You just say the name,
yeah,
or
yeah, see what he does. Because if he attacks us, we have a reason to attack him back.
Okay, so basically,
we're not murder hobos.
So basically, you say the name.
We haven't killed any people yet, so we're not murder hobos.
Is that true? So,
yeah, we just don't indiscriminately go around attacking everything that's around us.
I wouldn't say that. We have gone around and just indiscriminately attacked everything. It just hasn't been anything human yet.
Okay. So you basically say Filge, and you kind of hear the music stop sudden, or like the music, like he's got like a radio or something. No, you hear him stop singing, and like immediately turn his head, and your direction is like, "Who the hell are you?"
Stop your unholy work.
And tell us where the bones of what's the name of the kid's family again?
Tell us where the bones of the Land family are.
Yeah, where the Land family is.
He says, "The who?" And then he says, "You need to get the hell out of here."
You don't own this place, and you shouldn't be here.
We aren't leaving without the family's bones.
Yes, you shouldn't be experimenting with undead creatures.
He kind of looks and he's like, I see we have some righteous people that have come here. I guess more people to experiment with. I do detest the distractions though. And you see he kind of runs over to one of the tanks, and he like hits a valve on it. And we'll go ahead and start some initiative. Basically hits a lever on it.
Yeah.
Can Jeff not hit him with a spell before that? How far away is it?
If he's got to run, he's getting a frostbolt. That's all I'm saying.
Go ahead and roll for initiative. Okay. So what are you guys doing to roll for your initiative, just to make sure we're on the same page?
I am doing my attack with my frostbolt.
Okay.
I got a 14.
I'll do, this is not great, but I'll do agility just to try and stop,
because I'm trying to stop him. So it'll only be +1.
Oh, good call.
I rolled an 11.
Okay. So actually, Jeff, you go first in this combat.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit him with frostbolt. You want me to roll again or take the 14 that I got?
Well, the 14 is your initiative, so that's
yeah. You have to roll the hit.
So we get to do something interesting here. Before rolling,
okay,
you cast frostbolt, and he is going to spell duel you.
Ooh, new rules.
you can try.
Ooh. Okay. So what's interesting is that this is kind of a little bit of homebrew based on what I've been seeing and everything like that, considering that the full monsters manual and everything isn't out. So hopefully this is fun. So you're going to cast Frostbolt. So you're casting that, and he's going to cast Death Bolt.
Explain spell duel.
And so a spell duel is is basically a reaction that spellcasters can take to the casting of a spell. That allows you to spend, in the player's case, it allows you to spend 2 AP and 1 or more mana to challenge the creature with a spell of your own. You declare a spell duel after the creature makes a spell check and before you know the result of the check. So I don't know what your check is because I haven't looked or anything like that.
I haven't rolled it yet.
And so you both declare what the spells are and everything like that, and then you roll an opposing contest. So you're going to do your normal check, and I'm going to do a kind of a contested check, and then if you succeed, typically if the person who succeeds is going to kind of determine how this plays out. So if you succeed and I fail, then basically your spell goes off without a hitch. And if you fail, then your spell is.
Now, can we spend? Okay, so he had to spend action points to initiate the spell duel.
Correct.
Now, can I also respond, or can I spend action points as I normally would, or how does that work?
So let's see. So in this case, once your spell is declared, the opponent can't change their declared spell or modify their spell check in any way. So once you declare your spell, you basically are casting it the way you would normally cast it. Now the contest does say that it's modified by your mana points. So in this case, because I think you're casting a cantrip, you wouldn't modify your roll using mana points in this scenario.
Okay, but like the things that I normally do with Frostbolt, like pump the damage, try to slow, give myself advantage.
You'd still do all of those things. All those would happen.
Okay.
You're just going to roll your spell check, and then I'm going to oppose you. And hope that I roll a really good spell check.
All right, hang on. Because that's what I'm doing. I'm spending 3 action points.
And chat confirmed.
So my highest roll since I gave myself advantage was a 17.
Okay.
Thanks, Monk. I told it to keep the highest one and added everything together.
Uh-oh.
So basically in this case, spell duel is kind of interesting. And so like by me succeeding, the creature's spell fails and has no effect. So for the purpose of this, basically what you do is, you cast your Frostbolt, you sling it in his direction. He sees you casting the spell. It kind of like takes out his hand, a black entropic energy surrounds it, and he just kind of flings it at it, and just your ice just bursts into crystals every which way, consumed by the black energy.
And so do I get a chance to respond to his spell? Like, is this one of those things where we can just keep laying it on there until we don't have anything to spend? No. Okay. So
you could still spend your action points however you would normally spend them. Since you spent 3 on that, those become a consumed resource.
Right. No, I get that.
But you can do another action point. So if you wanted to cast another spell, you could, but it would be a disadvantage. Or you could move, for example, or something like that.
Yeah, and moving does nothing for me, so. But his spell just takes out my spell. It doesn't do anything to me.
No, because
Okay.
my success means that your creature spell fails and has no effect.
Okay.
Whereas if I failed, then your creature's spell would succeed and takes effect. And if we somehow manage to get a tie, the creature spell fails, has no effect, and you each roll on the Wild Magic Surge table. I was kind of hoping for that. I mean, I know it's like super slim, but that would have been hella fun.
Okay.
Mike was hoping everybody was going to blow up.
That's what I was going to do. So I don't know if it's your turn, Brahm, or his turn.
Okay. So it would be his turn. He, as I said, pulling the lever, and basically that causes the tank to just like burst open. And what you see kind of like lumber out is I would say a kind of ghastly looking, what are those things called?
Zombie.
It is a bugbear, but it is zombie. So patches of hair missing and everything like that, swollen flesh. Looks, jaw dropping to one side kind of thing, and it kind of lumbers out of the solution as soon as the gate opens up.
Well, at least we don't have to save this one because we know it's not the Land family.
That's true. Go ahead and take its head off.
Way to be optimistic.
That's true. Way to be optimistic. Okay. And in case anybody's wondering, J15 Games did provide us trackers, which we are using. I now have my trackers here. So I have these little cool trackers. This is a purple acrylic. And I also have a walnut one as well as a cherry one. So in case anybody's wondering what we're using for tracking, we have a few different ways that we can do this to kind of make sure that we keep honest. And we also have these guys too. So, like J15 Games.
Trackers everywhere. It's true. And a link to their cool products on Etsy will be in the show notes.
Yeah, I think it's there right now. But I believe I put it in there, and there's a discount code if you guys are interested because they are celebrating the successful Kickstarter, at least for the time being.
You are magical.
Who's tracking the trackers? Ooh. Honesty is tracking the trackers. So that was his turn.
I guess we could get a camera and second camera for the tracker.
Man, I wish I was cool enough to be able to like have all these remote setups that come in for a live stream so I could switch cameras like through a control room and stuff like that. I feel like that's more of another person on the side job than me.
Indeed.
But yeah, so I believe that would make it actually your turn, Brent.
Okay. So I want to move over to the wizard. What's his name? Filge. I'm going to move over to Filge. How much movement is that? 1 action point's worth.
Let's see. So you guys are at the top of the stairs. Healing over there. So that's 1, 2, 3. At 3 action points worth. This top tower is huge.
That would be humongous.
With 1 action point, you could move
built this way.
It's basically
it's a cone. It's a cone observatory, everybody.
It's just bigger on the inside.
Oh, okay. It's a TARDIS observatory. I feel like this wizard's too powerful for us.
Aha! Take that, you pesky adventurers. It's only 3. Basically, you could get there in 1, 2, 3 spaces. So you'd even have 2 spaces left over if you wanted to spend 1 action point.
Okay, so 1 action point to move, 1 action point to attack, 1 for reroll, 1 for power attack against Filge. And I'm trying to keep Filge between me and the bugbear. So I want to be on the side of him away from the bugbear. Zombie.
Okay. So basically, where it's at right now is that by getting next to Filge, you also get next to the bugbear zombie that's out of the vat.
So the vat is here.
Mm-hmm.
he's at the lever, right?
Yep.
Or is the lever like
so like if you imagine the vat just off to the side. So here's the operating theater. He went north to the vat, pulled the lever, opened the thing, and so now there's bugbear zombie. You had to go up and around to get to the stairs down into the operating theater. So you're like literally right next to the bugbear zombie and right next to Phillips. That's really the only way you can get there.
Okay, I'll attack Phillips.
Unless you wanted to like flying squirrel over to him or something like that.
Rolling my dice.
Okay.
Uh, 24.
Ouch.
So 2, nice. 1 for axe, 1 for impact on the axe, 1 for power attack. So that's 3 base.
Okay.
Is it a hard hit?
It's a heavy hit, and it is a it's a brutal hit. Ouch.
So it's 5 points damage total.
Ouch.
Ow.
That was a good attack.
Okay. You basically
and now they come back because it's the end of my turn.
Which is always amazing how that all works. So you basically like just leapt at him and just sliced into him. Just brutal little dwarf attack here. He looks at you stunned, first of all, that you just beeline to him and attacked him. But what's going to happen now is that you see the skeleton that was standing there kind of with the book drops the book, grabs a scimitar, and then comes over at you. There's about a 5-foot tall skeleton that's coming at you.
So the impact property doesn't count towards this, Sam?
But it's a brutal hit. So
no, there's a comment from Samuel Crosshill.
Mm-hmm. Okay, what's coming?
Because the impact property only ends damage on the heavy or brutal hit, so impact doesn't count. Doesn't just add damage. How does it work on the new?
I thought I was looking at that right. Well, let's take a look.
So in this case, it would still be 5, but you wouldn't get it if it wasn't heavy or brutal.
Correct, okay. Which we've been doing incorrectly. So if that call,
no, we haven't actually been doing it incorrectly because every time you hit has always been at least a heavy hit. It feels like only when one time you haven't hit with a heavy hit, if I remember, or you just miss horribly. Seems to be
that may be true. That may be true. That may be correct.
Yeah, so that's really what's been happening is that you've been on both ends of the spectrum. I think you've only really had one hit with that has only been regular, and I believe we had mentioned that didn't get the impact property then. But yeah, so in this case,
I don't remember that, but
yeah, well, it was one of the sessions, a few sessions ago.
Thanks for that information, Samuel.
Yeah, no, it's important because it does put me at a disadvantage if I give you things like impact when I'm not supposed to.
Yeah, we've said it before, but if you guys see something or think we're doing something wrong, put it in chat.
Please remind us.
We'll make it right. Yeah, we're not.
Yeah, we don't profess to be experts at this. We're like your home table. We will make mistakes, obviously on the spot when we do rulings, but we always love learning. And as of course the game has changed, sometimes we either forget or miss a rule that has been updated as we go through.
Yeah. So thank you very much.
Yeah.
But anyways, in this case, I still did 5 points of damage.
You did 5 points of damage. You hit him with the axe right in the side. He pulls away, kind of looking at the blood, and he glowers at you. Out of the corner of your eye, you see the skeleton dropping a book and kind of like picking up what looks to be a scimitar that was behind like a tray and kind of charges at you. The skeleton being about your same size, though, it looks like maybe a young adult skeleton, kind of two hands coming at you like that. And roll an 18.
I will parry.
Okay, so I think we normally want that before the roll.
I didn't. I tried to say it before you said it because I didn't know you really. I didn't realize you really meant he was attacking me because you didn't say it was his turn. So,
it was the skeleton's turn, not Filge's turn.
Yeah. So I didn't. You didn't say that though. So, but
okay. What's the
adds 5 to my AC, so you miss.
Okay, 5 to your AC.
Yeah, 5
to my down those points.
Physical defense.
Okay. All right. That is what happens there. And so this round, it is now Jeff's turn.
Okay.
What about the bugbear?
Bugbear's not getting a turn attack this round.
Okay.
I'm going to switch to lightning bolt. I'm going to attack the bugbear. Spend an AP to increase the damage. And then spend an AP to chain it to Filge. And then give myself advantage.
Okay. So as you get your lightning ready, the crackling energy around you, spell duel. Sorcerers are funny.
That's fine.
Okay, go ahead and roll.
Can he spell duel a spell that doesn't target him?
It targets anybody, really.
It targets the bugbear. Yeah, so. It chains to him, but it targets the bugbear. I'm just asking. I'm not.
Yeah, no, it should.
Saying that it can't.
Person could state a feature required. Nope, wrong reaction.
It's just,
targets one or more
reacts
creatures.
To me. Okay.
So if so the same applies to you. So if your chosen spell targets one or more creatures or objects, you must be able to target the opposing creature or any of its targets with your spell. So.
Well, my highest was a 23.
Ooh, making it hard for him. Let's see. You can tell that he wasn't ready for this spell duel. He lifts his bloody hand to try to conjure up some more of that black energy to intercept your lightning. But as your lightning just literally cuts through it, the mist dissipates as it's cleaved in half.
Okay.
Do your stuff.
All right. And that's 2 AP for the spell duel, right? So he spent half of his AP for his turn. That's fun. The bugbear takes 3 damage, and Filge takes 2 lightning damage. And if either one of them's wearing metal armor, which I don't think they are, they take an additional 1 damage. Oh wait, and was that was the 23 a heavy or a brutal hit?
It against the bugbear.
It would only apply to the bugbear. It wouldn't apply to Filge. It doesn't transfer through.
Yeah, it would be a brutal hit because of its physical defense. Because it's targeting physical defense, right?
Yes. Yeah, it's against physical defense. So the 23 was 10 higher, or more than 10 higher.
10 or more higher. Yep.
Okay. So the bugbear would take 5, and Filge would take 2.
Gotcha. Made the adjustments. Boom! Nice shot. Okay. So, Filge is going to go.
You did get a heavy hit on. He did get a heavy hit on the bugbear.
Brutal hit. Yeah. So he's going to step away from you effectively, Brent. But he's going to use the disengage action, kind of like retreat from you effectively. So if you want, you can make there is a reaction that if you want to take an opportunity attack, you can spend 1 AP to make a melee attack against the creature, in this case Filge, but you would have disadvantage at its base, or if you wanted, you could spend additional AP to gain advantage or to perform maneuvers with the attack.
Interesting. Is disengage 1 AP or 2, Mike?
Disengage is 1 AP. Although there is a
is he slowed? No, because
he's not slowed.
Screwed up the.
Yeah, I lost the spell duel with the one that would have slowed.
Yeah,
but it would have ended at the end of this turn anyhow.
There is the ability to use what's called a full disengage, where when you take the disengage action, you can spend an additional AP to become immune to opportunity attacks until the start of the next turn. He did not do that because he is doing something else.
Oh, I'll try it with the disadvantage. I don't want to spend any more. Well, I don't hit him, obviously. Oops.
Oh. Not with that roll.
Well, his first roll was an 8, so it's not going to hit.
Yeah, I'm not going to hit.
All right.
So I miss.
You had to take the chance, though. I think you had to take the chance.
Yeah, I didn't want to spend all my AP on it. So.
No. Phil just already spent 3 of his 4 AP.
Mm-hmm. And he's going to use his last one to basically.
He's also taken 10 hit points in damage.
Phil has only taken 7.
Oh yeah,
I hit the bugbear.
Right.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yep. And he's kind of screaming at you, like, "Who the hell are you? What are you doing here?" As he's like holding his side, and he's kind of running towards another one of the vats away from you, Brent. So if you imagine that the vats are in 4 corners, the one in the upper right corner, just looking down, that's the one he's at, and he's running down across the operating theater to the one in the upper right hand side. As you kind of swing, but have the bugbear to worry about.
Wait, does the disengage action negate? Like, what? Why is it a disengage action?
Well, because he wanted to impose disadvantage on you.
Oh, you get disadvantage if you do that. You just
so he imposes.
You just do a regular attack if not.
Well, yeah. So basically, if he were to leave, you would get.
Well, the reason I'm asking is because when I leave the space that this bugbear is occupying, and I don't take the disadvantage action, he's just going to get an regular attack against me, right?
He could spend an AP to do that. Yes.
Right. Okay.
Fair enough.
Yep. Now we're getting to some of the meatier techniques and rules this time. I thought we'd try them out. So, woohoo!
Will both of them get an opportunity attack? Because the other skeleton's next to me too, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. It doesn't seem as though there's any type of restriction on it. So I think if they each wanted to spend the AP,
they just need to spend the AP. Yeah,
they would get an opportunity attack.
Okay.
Assuming that me as the GM gave them access to actions and reactions of those types. I mean, not every GM would give them to those things, but as an FYI.
Not every GM, but
yeah,
our GM.
Hey, it's got to create dynamic, fun fights.
So whose turn is it?
So Filge just went by running away down the other direction, so he gets his action points back. So now it is your turn, Brent.
Yeah, I'll spend the action point to move after Filge. So let them do their attacks.
Okay. So let's see. And let's see. So one for that. Okay, so the dice are coming here. 1 second.
Okay, so the bugbear lumbers over and swings at you. Obviously missing. The other one swings and
hits. Yep.
looks like it hits.
That's a heavy hit too.
Okay. So because that's a heavy hit, it does negate your damage reduction. So you will take 1 point of damage from the scimitar finding just a space in your armor to.
It's 1 point of damage, not really.
Hey, I gotta take every point of damage I can get here.
It makes me a little more tired.
Now on Jeff, on the other hand.
And now all attack fails. So that's 1 for the spent, 1 for the attack of opportunity. That's 1 for the movement, 1 for the attack, and only 1 for the reroll. Which I didn't.
Okay. Well, a 21.
No,
I
that's
choose
not
the
how
20.
advantage works. If it was disadvantage, you could do that. If it was disadvantage, I would have only gotten a 21. Instead, I had advantage and got a 24. But it's one less damage because I couldn't power attack it this time.
Okay, so that's 4 damage then.
Yes.
You got a brutal hit.
Yeah. And if he goes down, like, is this a system where they just die automatically, or is 0 hit points unconscious?
It depends. I mean,
I don't actually want to kill him.
So Death's Door typically is, when you're reduced to 0 hit points, is where you spend time on Death's Door. Whereas NPCs typically don't spend time on Death's Door. So if you happen to go over, you would normally kill an NPC under normal circumstances.
So what options is there to subdue someone instead of murdering them?
I mean, we can suggest non-lethal damage or something like that. Kind of going that route. I don't remember if I saw non-lethal.
It is a mugging. We're trying a mugging.
So non-lethal attacks. When you make a melee attack with a weapon or an unarmed strike, you can declare the attack to be non-lethal. If a creature is reduced to 0 or lower by a non-lethal attack, they're knocked unconscious instead and are considered stable for the purposes of Death's Door. So you can do that.
Okay, so seeing how weak he is, I basically just hit him with the flat of the axe in the back of it. Or is he down or not?
No, he's not down.
Oh, okay,
so you did the damage. You basically cut into his side again, and he's looking at you like peasant. What are you doing? Get away from me! Staring daggers at you.
So now he's taken more than 10 hit points worth of damage.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, just when I was reading this, Jeff, unfortunately, you can't make your attacks non-lethal based on how I read the non-lethal attacks part. So it says melee attacks with a weapon or unarmed strike.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I'm just taking a look at some stuff, seeing what I'm going to do here. So Brom can try to knock him out.
Okay.
I can try to finish him off from across the room.
All right. So
technically, if you a lightning bolt could be a taser. I'm just saying, technically.
Set to stun. Now that would be worth spending an AP on. Set to stun. Okay, so
non-lethal chain lightning. It would. That would be amazing.
So in this case, it was Jeff's turn, his turn, or sorry, it was Jeff turned his turn, Brent's turn. Now the skeleton did 1 point of damage to you. Now it's the.
That wasn't his turn though.
What's that?
That was
that wasn't the
opportunity.
skeleton's turn.
The skeleton gets his turn now.
Yeah, the skeleton and the bugbear should still get to go.
Okay, so the skeleton is kind of frantically running after you and going to insert itself between you and Bilge and attempt to.
Good night, Samuel.
So it's going to roll a d20.
I'll parry.
No. Yeah, it still hit me.
I think that's still a heavy hit.
Nope.
What's your new defense? 19.
Yeah, it's 4.
Okay. So in this case, your physical mob I've thrown at you, considering just swinging wildly with this scimitar.
It's his Drist cosplay. He's using a scimitar.
Just one though, not like multiple. Moving on.
A one-armed Drist cosplay.
So basically, next the bugbear is going to go, and it is also going to move in to try to.
How much damage did the skeleton do?
1.
One more?
No, just 0 because I didn't.
Well, no, I already taken one from him, so one more.
Well, but then the physical.
No, you're.
Oh, that one goes. Oh, yeah, that one is affected by my defense.
It is.
That's why I said I was like, yes, I got another heavy hit, but I didn't. So I was sad and depressed. It's obviously not me versus you. Moving on.
I was gonna say.
So
that's an appropriate response for a GM.
Moving in, you see the bugbear come in. Its maw going in, tightening like it's going to go for a bite. So it spends 1 AP to get over to you, and then it spends its AP to go bite you.
Who's getting bitten? Me?
You.
I think you.
By the
Good night,
bugbear?
Monk. I hope the appointments go well tomorrow.
Yeah. Good luck, buddy.
All right.
I feel like Price is Right should play every time I roll a 7 because it's rolling a lot of trombone. Yeah. Action points back, so that's at least something.
You can put that on your soundboard someday.
Okay.
Wilhelm screams and sad trombones.
All right. So, Jeff, your turn.
So how close are all these jabronis standing to each other, and how far away from me are they?
Yeah, so basically
again,
there's this pile of people right on top of Rom who basically finds himself in the thick of it at this point.
Okay.
At all points.
All right.
Yeah.
The first thing I'm going to do, they're within 10 squares.
You have not
squares of
moved,
me.
so yes.
If they're within 10 squares of me, I'm going to create an arcane sigil.
Okay.
And I'm going to name destruction. So the sigil is radiating destruction magic at this point. So,
Okay. And do you want to tell people what the sigil is?
And that takes an action point and a mana point, right? Or is that an arcane? Yeah, it's an action point. Or is that an arcane point and a mana point?
So spend 1 action point and 1 MP to create 1 space diameter.
Okay. So the arcane sigil, while a creature is within the area, and I'm included in that, I have advantages on spell checks to cast or produce the effects of spells, in this case with the destruction magic type. So that covers most of the things I might want to throw over there. So I no longer have to spend an action point to give myself advantage, because I essentially just did, as long as I'm in this circle, as long as I'm in the sigil.
Yep. And so just to clarify, the sigil is only a 1 space diameter, but it can be moved up to 10 spaces.
Yep.
So But yeah, so basically you can add one's spell school or spell tag. And so you got it. What are you going to do next?
So, you know what? Let's just lightning bolt at the bugbear. Increase damage. And then chain it to the skeleton.
Okay.
All right, and that's my 4 action points.
Okay.
But I have advantage, so I'm going to roll twice.
Okay.
First roll was a 10. Oh, good. The second roll was a 6. All right, that's okay. I'm guessing the 10 is not effective. It is, Charles. It is the first time I have used the sigil. I have felt a little. I'm like, it's part of the rule set. I got to use it at some point, but our fights have gone kind of quick sometimes. So this feels like the appropriate time. Bust it out.
So basically, you took out your little wand and you drew your glyph on the ground. Light erupts around you, and you shoot a lightning bolt. It careens wildly off to the side, hitting the side of the operating theater.
Hey, that's better than it fizzling. So,
yeah. Okay. So you see him basically. He takes out this.
I'm doing arts and crafts over here by the doorway.
It was a very fast drawing.
It was a very fast drawing.
It kind of reminds me of like Naruto when they do all their little hand symbols and stuff like that. See those in memes and all that, but you did a quick symbol. You did a shortcut. You had like a copy paste loaded up, I guess. But you see him kind of like jab his arm with this liquid in a syringe, and he looks at you and he's like, "You."
I point a gun at his daughter.
Fair enough.
That was a different game, but it seemed weirdly familiar there for a second.
And he's like, "Stop! What the hell? Just stop!" You see him unload this syringe into his arm. It doesn't make any other actions, but it does seem as though him saying "stop" and saying like "stop! What the hell? Spare me! Stop!" does cause the other undead to like freeze in place.
I raise my axe, tell him we're taking him to the authorities. He tells us where the bones for the family are.
It's like the bones for what family?
You've been okay, so you've been ordering local mine workers to dig up bodies for your experiments.
Well, I mean, to a degree, yeah, but I mean, it doesn't really warrant you guys busting into this place and doing these kind of things.
All we did was call out your name. You're the one that released a zombie to attack us.
Actually, I think you said something along the lines of
"Stop your unholy work." No, stop your unholy work.
Yeah, something like that.
I mean, whatever. He can say that. He can say that whatever he wants about that. There's a head downstairs.
Yeah. Well, there's a head in your bedroom.
So we're gonna take him. We're gonna take him. This is decorative. I have a story to tell you about the funny story about a show I watched recently about that. But anyways, so I say we're gonna take you to the authorities. Why we really came here is to find the bones of a family that was recently they were dug up, and we need to collect them. But I'm still taking you to the authorities regardless. We need to
get them back in.
We'll just search the place afterwards.
He's like, well, whoa. You might want to slow down here. Who do you work for? Who are you with?
No one. We actually don't work for anyone.
He's like, friends, I think you might find yourself in more trouble than it's worth.
I knock him out.
Okay. Roll a attack.
Okay. It's a 20.
Well, it's not. It's a dirty 20 at least.
It's still a 20.
All right. He says it's going to be more trouble than it's worth, and you just crack him across the face. Okay. Not how I expected that to go, but that's okay.
Then I say, get the rope.
Yeah, we tie him up.
Okay, you tie him up. You have this frozen bugbear zombie, frozen skeleton, and you have an unconscious Filge.
Yeah, so tie him up. We'll put him in a chair. I'll gag him so he can't do wizard stuff. And then I'll tell Ross to go to the garrison and get
Or go to the sheriff's office.
I would go to well, I say the garrison. If you go to the sheriff's office, that's fine. But I tell him to get my commanding officer.
All right, I'll go to the garrison to talk to his commanding officer.
And if he tells you to go get the sheriff, you can.
Yes, but I will report to his commanding officer and say that he's guarding the necromancer.
Okay. So you guys, so you leave to go to the garrison.
Yeah,
he does. Yeah. I don't. I stay with the dude.
All right. So you leave. You go. Kind of.
Would you like me to roll my intimidation to stop him from escaping?
Who? Jeff?
Filge.
Oh, I mean, if you tied him up, I mean, he's tied up. How exactly do you expect him to?
Maybe he needs to be extra scared while he's tied up.
I mean, if you want to roll your intimidation, you can. If you feel it's necessary to like crack your knuckles next to his face, sharpen your axe, or something like that. I mean, if that's what you feel is the next step for him.
Just saying, I have intimidate as a skill.
Okay, so while he's off, going down to the garrison, what are you doing?
That's it. I'm just watching him for now. We can search the place for the bones and shit when people are handling the situation with the severed head. Okay. We probably do need to leave town eventually, just for the record. Because this is probably going to make quite a few unhappy people.
Oh, I don't think Smank's going to be thrilled, no.
Okay. So
Alistan may not even be happy. I don't know.
So you head down to the garrison. You go to find Brent's immediate superior officer, Trent.
Trent, that was it.
And he comes as you find him within the garrison, overseeing some drills of some of the other militia people. He kind of looks at you kind of curiously. And do you report anything other than you have a necromancer that needs to be arrested for crimes against humanity?
I tell him that Brahm sent me, that he's working with me for Master Alistan, as he knows, as Commander Trent knows, that we got word that there were people digging up graves and taking the body at the behest of a necromancer in town that was staying in the observatory. So we went up to explore the observatory. We encountered skeletons. We encountered things that possibly were zombies, dead bodies sitting at a table, severed head in the bedroom, necromancer doing surgery on some sort of a blue creature. We yelled his name, told him to stop. He ran over to a vat, released a zombie bugbear. And, so we subdued him. And Brahm is watching him, and we're just trying to recover some of the bodies so we can get them interred back into the ground, consecrated, and as quickly as I can. If he has follow-up questions, I'll embellish.
Sure. 1 second here. So he kind of like takes the information in, goes, well, that's not really the type of thing that we would normally handle. I I think you probably should go to Sheriff Cubbin and see if he can, if he can hold the person and get this in front of, Governor Mayor Neff, as to what he wants to do with a dangerous necromancer. And then he kind of like it just like leaves that at that is basically your next best thing.
Okay, I thank him for his time. I tell him I know he's busy, and I will go talk to the sheriff.
Okay, he goes back to watching the other people. Getting to the sheriff's office. The sheriff's office it's kind of it's pretty centrally located, just like it's pretty close to the vein, and it's Sheriff Cubbin is kind of a boisterous individual, if not probably known as an alcoholic. He's not exactly a person that people thought made good sheriff material. But as soon as he got his commission from Neff, you know that people started paying attention real quick as to what he does with him and his deputies and everything like that. So in terms of like when you approach Sheriff Cubbin's I guess the sheriff's office, like, are you just basically going with the same story and everything like that?
Same story. Reports of grave robbers working for a necromancer hiding in the observatory. Went there, found evidence of necromancy, found this guy experimenting with dead bodies and all kinds of unholy, filthy things, and we tried to stop him and have him subdued and tied up.
Well, he looks at you and he's like, and did you mention anybody's names? I've forgotten that first part. Did you mention Smack or anything like that?
No, I said I'm working with a member of the garrison, and I reported it. He's the one keeping watch over the necromancer. I reported it to the garrison commander, but he said this more fell into your realm.
Okay,
I'm assuming he knows who I am.
He knows it. He knows who. I mean, obviously his proximity to Neff and everything like that. So he goes, "Well, that is quite the catch that you have there." He kind of does one of those quick whistles,
He definitely knows who we are as the troublemakers.
And he kind of whistles and he calls for his deputy Jamis. And he says, "Take a couple of the boys and go up to this observatory with our young apprentice here and see if we can't see for ourselves this necromancer in action." And they do. They go and there's this deputy Jamis and a couple of the other guys come and they're ready to follow you up to the observatory.
All right. Night, Trixie Ray. Yeah, so I take him back, show him the skeletons, show him the severed head, take him up, show him the operating theater.
One of them tries to get through the dining room table and is like, a little bit of retching from the floral / rotten.
Yeah, I tell him it's awful. I mean, I warn him. I wouldn't, surprise him.
Getting up to the top. By this point, Filge is like bound and gagged and has regained consciousness, obviously, with you, Brent.
Not for long.
Doesn't say how often you can send him back to the unconscious roller coaster. So that you see, it doesn't take very long. I mean, honestly, the only reason it took Jeff as long as it did is because he had to run to the garrison.
I had to go twice, yeah. And so I would imagine Filge has a traumatic brain injury at this point.
especially if Brent.
I'm not gonna keep knocking him out. I let him just squirm there. It's fine.
He squirms for a few minutes until he realizes that you're
unless I see one of the zombies move, like, I don't know, mind control or something, then I might hit him again. But
up comes the stairs. You hear the sound of multiple footsteps, and Jeff reappears on the scene. What's that? Zavrox reappears on the scene, followed by a small troop of similarly dressed deputies from town. Deputy Janice obviously takes control of the situation, and he says,
"A loud noise as one of the deputies grabbed the platinum piece out of the."
Yeah, did anybody grab the platinum piece out of the dead severed head?
No, they were too busy like controlling their stomach on the way up to
Okay.
to attempt that.
Well, I mean, that's their thing. I'm still not touching it.
To attempt larceny.
Yeah, they can do larceny without any problems. So they get there. Jammers says, "Well, I guess we'll take him in. You know, we'll get him inside one of the cells for obviously grave robbing and all those kind of things." He kind of like looks around. He's like, "Ooh, quite the place here. I don't think we anticipated anybody being working up here. This place was supposed to be old and abandoned. But good for you guys bringing it back." And he says, "We'll take him from here, if you don't mind." And then they go to get Filge. Obviously, did you tie him up like he was laying across the railroad?
Yeah, kind of. I do say we do need to ask him one more thing and see if we can get him to answer a question for us. There is a family of bones that we do need to find and inter as soon as possible. He hasn't said that he knows where they are, but we kind of need him to tell us if we can get any more information on where they might be or which ones they might be.
Basically, he says that the kind of looks at you and he's like, "Well, if you're looking for bones that people have brought in, most of the bones that were brought are the ones that were at the front door. This set right here," and he kind of nods over to this other, the one that's kind of standing frozen, and he's like, "I have other bits and pieces that they were able to find in the hills in the storage under the stairs that you come in, but."
So the three in front and the one with the scimitar, and then some other bits and pieces.
Mm-hmm. And he kind of like looks at the deputy and he's like, "You boys, I don't know if you want this kind of trouble."
I gag him again, and then I guess we go collect the scimitar bones and then go check out the storage and see what's in there.
Okay. So the deputies take control of Filge. They obviously leave his legs untied and kind of gag him as they take him away from the tower. So as you see them leaving the tower, you guys are going under the stairs.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you look under the stairs, you pretty much see that this is just another, looks like a storage. Doesn't seem like it's very large considering it's basically the storage under the stairs and everything like that. Looking in there, you do see that it's got old tools. And you see that within the area, it looks like something has nested here. There are bones and everything like that scattered about, but the bones range from everything from like animal bones and everything like that. There's fungus that are growing in here, but you don't actually see any real distinct human bones.
All right, I guess we take the ones that we have and we call it good. Okay. Maybe he'll give us credit for doing our best.
Your best.
Yeah. Is there anywhere else to search in the observatory? Thought we were relatively thorough.
You guys were pretty thorough with this. It's not a very large building, and especially since it's atop a hill. There's not a lot of extra areas that it can go to.
Yeah, if there was any human bones in the nesting thing, I would take those. But is there any like passages, burrows out, or anything?
Not that you can see. You do see within the nest, it does look as though there are odd tracks that come and go from it, but it doesn't look as though whatever it is, it's not very large.
Okay. Yeah, I guess we get the skeleton. Yeah, we get the skeleton bones. There's the manservant that was holding the severed head. That was more of a zombie thing?
The head?
It had, no, not the head, but whatever was holding the platter.
It was in wrapping, so I assume it had wrapping, so I assume it had skin. He said it was these ones. I guess we have to kind of trust that.
Yeah, I guess we'll take the bones. since none of the things around the table seem like they were the Land family. It just doesn't seem like enough bones, but I mean, that's what we have. That's what we have.
It's 4 whole people,
I guess. Okay.
Which it was 4 Lands people, right? It was the father, the mother, the brother, and a sister, or was it just 3?
It was 4 total.
Okay.
And his grave made up a 5th empty one.
All right. So I guess we'll go try.
Okay.
Rent a horse or a cart or something,
and head back out to the Land family.
Yeah.
So you basically, in order to make your journey a little easier, you go get a donkey, a pack mule, in order to kind of bring the stuff out there. Getting out there, like, how would you guys endure this kind of mess of bones and everything that you have?
Well, I mean, literally, we just put some in each grave. Like,
we probably need a priest of some kind, a holy person.
Try and make sure that there's a head allocated to each one, and then have it re-sanctified and put his bones into.
Okay.
We know his bones. We know which bones are his because they're separate.
You're gonna try to go get a priest to come out and say last rites and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, to reconsecrate the ground, explain the thing, and tell him that we'll make a modest donation to the church.
Okay. I believe in here, I think that would be the Hieronius. Yeah, I think that's the easiest temple. Well, there's two temples that you'd have access to, but I think the easiest one that you would have is that on the vein there's a Church of St. Cuthbert. I believe the Hieronius is actually in the garrison. So either way, you can ask them to do that. Okay.
Yeah, we don't really care who it is.
Yeah, we have these nifty 8 copper candle stands.
Particularly
8. It's a lot of copper. We'd like to donate to the church.
That's fair.
I don't know what I don't.
You tend to be the cheapest one donating to people, is my understanding, across multiple games. So
I have no idea. I mean, I asked the father if he would suggest the donation. You know, what would be normal in this circumstance. The candles, the copper candle stands can just be an extra gratuity.
Okay, yeah, and they'll accept the copper candle stands, and I don't think that's actually a service outlined in the book, but we'll say that a typical donation would be a couple gold for their time and energy to get out there and back.
All right, so how about we do 5 gold?
Expender.
5 gold and 8 copper candle stands.
And a package of dungeon loot. The conversion rate on these is surprisingly good.
And the body of a zombie bugbear. No, I'm kidding.
No. Okay. So yeah, they'll accept.
Well, we know where he can go get a platinum piece if he wants to go get it.
Yeah. I do not tell him that.
Up to you. I mean,
it's funny. I do not tell him that.
Just sitting there right for the taking.
I do not tell him that. No.
Okay. So once you're done with that, what do you do next?
Well, we thank the priest and ask him if he'll return the pack mule. You know, since he's got to go by there to get back to the church, anyways. I tell Brom, I think maybe we should not go back to town for a while, because I never mentioned Smenk's name,
but it'll probably come up. I agree with you.
Yeah, it's going to come up. We had the letter where he was essentially inviting Filge to come do necromantic things. I'd like Alistan to see that before any of the authorities see that.
Okay.
So I think maybe we should just try and go back to the Whispering Cairn, or if we want to go back to town, we need to be careful coming in, and I think we should go to Alistan so we can talk to him.
Yeah, we should just go back to the Whispering Cairn.
Okay, let's go back to the Cairn and see if that, because Alistair said he would know if his bones got interred next to his family.
Okay.
Yes.
So basically you guys pack up super fast in an effort to leave for your adventure fast before any fallout from your escapades can be had. Is that my understanding? Like you just like
and I put a sign next to the graves that Owlbear and House stay away.
Oh, you mean in the observatory?
No, there's an owlbear at the land estate.
Oh, sorry. My brain, you said owlbear, my brain heard bugbear, and I was like,
No, owlbear. Yeah.
Okay.
Try and keep the grave right away.
Sure. So
try and keep your bears straight.
I apologize. That is my fault. Too many bears this adventure. Too many doors. Too many bears. Lots of things happening.
That's you got a TV show, Mike. Too many doors. Too many bears.
It's true.
It's not a bad name for a show. So basically, traveling back after getting your gear together to the Whispering Cairn, you feel like this is probably going to be one of the last times you'll need to visit this for a while. You march your way across the fields. You stay in that abandoned mining office, and once more into the breach, you head towards the sarcophagus room, seeing all of the lanterns still lit. The blue lantern, as you climb up the chain and everything like that, you get to the room itself where you see the across the way, the door, the large metal door, it is now sitting open. And you see that there's kind of like almost an illumination across the beam that was not there previous to this point.
Oh, the illumination, not the beam.
Yeah, the beam is there, but the
beam has always been there.
Is illuminated.
Right, okay. I was a little confused for a second. I was like,
"Hey, you wanna try to put a foot on the illumination, or do you want to just climb down into the ball pit and do the rope thing?"
He said he couldn't turn off the trap. Remember?
Yeah, he said he couldn't turn off the trap, but I don't know if the illuminate. I don't know if that means he crossed. I don't know. Let's just do the rope thing.
Well, I step on the beam and see if I get shot with a ball off the beam.
Not yet.
Okay, I can go a little ways across.
Okay, roll agility. No, just kidding. You gingerly, put one foot in front of the other, waiting for that telltale sign that it's sucking up these little iron balls in the bottom and I'm going to shoot them back at you. And it doesn't seem as though any of that triggers. Getting to the door, though, you see that it is opening into a large chamber behind it. And so I think that's where we're going to end tonight.
Behind the door is a cliffhanger?
Behind the door is a large chamber. Cliffhanger.
Cliffhanger, yeah.
Cliffhanger. There we go. So yeah, lots of fun to be had for that.
It was good. Thank you. Excellent.
Yeah, thank you.
No problem. We'll see how it. Let's see if you find it excellent in the next little bit.
Hey, we have progress.
Yeah, we have progress.
It's hilarious.
Little bastard opened the door for us. We appreciate it.
Well, I could have made you roll and be like, okay, we'll roll. What would that have been? A medicine check to make sure you get enough of the bones connected in the right ways to outline skeletons in the graves.
Wait, I didn't say we did that. I just said we dumped them in the hole.
I'm just saying that could have been an outcome. That no, you got to put these skeletons back correctly in the right graves.
We blessed and consecrated the.
They're all together, man.
They're all together in the afterlife.
If you put a chicken in a blender, it's still a whole chicken.
Maybe not the analogy I was going.
Yeah, I hadn't heard that one before, but I can't argue with it. So.
One whole chicken in a can, man. They exist.
That's true. I mean, I'm sure they do. There's a lot of stuff that you see people put in cans. So, full chicken? Why not?
Yeah. So there you go.
So, so that ends this chapter, or not chapter, but this session for the Age of Worms adventure path. We still have probably a little bit more before we wrap up the actual chapter and everything like that. gonna have to bring that adventure along
Yeah.
back. Yeah, they will, because obviously, when I do contracts from here on out, I'll have to write them up to
Only if
see.
the kid comes back.
You get there and he's just tapping his foot and like, what's taking you so long?
That would have been hilarious.
That would have been great. Well, there's a thing.
You guys did it wrong. Put the
This
puzzle
is-
together correctly.
Yeah, this has turned into a thing.
I feel like, there are probably some tables that would enjoy that kind of puzzle where I just like, scattered a whole bunch of
Anatomy
things on there.
puzzle?
Yeah,
only if there was a prop. Only if you bought one of those anatomy those skeleton puzzles, and like rolled the box over to us and went, okay, you have to do it 4 times.
And this is obviously the femur of a male.
Yeah, these are anatomically correct.
You can tell adults and children, and I think some bones you can make some assumptions of gender, but I don't know that you can tell everything.
Mostly by the pelvis is how you tell how they're gendered.
Typically, I mean, there are obviously exceptions for everything.
Yeah,
the wife would be able to give you a long explanation as to how all that works.
I'm sure
she would love to hop on right now and be like, okay, how to tell gender from cadavers and corpses and skeletons.
Yeah, well, yeah, especially once they've been mixed together.
I mean, that's some crazy stuff when you start getting into those types of things.
Yeah,
I don't think we need to.
It says the bones were kept separate after they were, dug up, or that when the necromancer was looking for parts, he was, dealing with whole skeleton. Yeah, there's a lot of questions there that I don't.
Well,
really
they were whole until we smashed them to pieces. Is the other problem?
Well, they were reanimated, but I don't know that they were. You don't know one body.
Yeah, you weren't sure if he did some repair work, is what you're saying.
Yeah, or substitutions.
It's true. I have to say that would be.
I need the burger. I don't want the lettuce or the pickles. You know what I mean? I don't know what was holding those skeletons together.
Hope and a prayer, apparently, and duct tape.
McDonald's special sauce.
Necromantic gaff tape.
I was going to say, thanks to everybody watching who stuck with us this long, up to the skeleton conversation.
Yeah.
You deserve double thanks.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Hopefully the session was enjoyable for you. I know we're getting through this, and obviously the cool part about the Age of Worms adventure path is that there's a lot of extra pieces and bits and everything like that you can add to this for your own player. If, for example, you wanted to run this for your own table, there's the cool thing is because this has been around. I think it's going on like 20 years now. Because I want to say the original,
I think almost
mid 2000s. There have been people that have run this thing more than once. There are people that have redesigned certain encounters and the way that some of this goes, because by no means is this adventure path perfect, but it definitely has design principles from D&D 3.5, and so with a little bit of elbow grease, you can modernize it, make it more interesting, and do a lot of stuff. I'm running it really close to how the books are running it, so that's why it's like, oh, it feels, that's an interesting choice they made there. So, but I'm enjoying it. I think it's an interesting
it is good
set of adventures.
I'm enjoying the DC20 conversion of it too. You've done a good job.
Yeah, DC20 is interesting, and I was having fun with spell duels. I was hoping to get one of those in, because I was like, at some point you guys have to fight another spellcaster. And I know that the monster rules haven't really been updated to do that yet. Like there's not strong rules around it, but it basically, I think that there's a couple creatures that have been released that have spell casting as a feature, and anything with spell casting you can spell duel.
Yeah, it's very cool.
And I think that that's a really important thing to have against characters like Jeff, so that if you want to have survivability for your monsters and not just let him be a turret.
No.
Mortar shells.
No, it was cool. It was the first time we'd encountered it, so I had some questions about it. But
I honestly think spell duels are neat in so much as that, as a counter to your magic. You don't just say counter spell, you do something interesting instead.
Yeah, that is very cool.
And I'll have to see. Like I'm curious as to how common the wild magic surges are, because that table is kind of funny.
That would be interesting. We'll have to see how that goes.
Yeah. Let me see if I can find it real quick, just because I'm curious.
All right. Did we have any questions? It doesn't look like it.
No, I think we're good.
All right.
Okay. Again, thank you everybody for joining. We appreciate you.
Yeah. I think it's a lot of fun. Well, we appreciate everybody. Of course, we'll be back next Monday, right?
Yep. I believe so.
So yeah, so we hope to see y'all in our next adventure that may wrap up this set of the books. But we hope everybody has a good night. We hope you had fun, and we hope to see you soon.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.